You're watching Kicking It with Honor, the live shopping show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to our live creator hangout. I'm Henri Copen, and I got Fish Lee right here. I got Jen Wastoff down here, and then I got JT Malloy down in the lower right corner over here. We got a good crowd here. We might have some other people joining us. David Moore, what's up? How you doing? This is totally disorganized, last-minute plan. I did not put any thought into this other than the fact that honestly, I just kind of wanted to pay it forward to my guys in the comics groups, because honestly, like, the amount of support I've seen over the last 24 hours of people just sharing out my campaign and everything, I just want to pay it forward to these fine people here. So we're going to talk a little bit about our campaigns here. I'm probably going to talk least about my campaign because I think everybody who's here already knows about it. I'll give you guys a quick rundown, but most of you guys who are here already know about it. We're also going to be doing a creator hangout tomorrow night. I got Dexter Wee, Chuck Pino, and Steve Cannon from the Warline team all coming on for the final hour of the show. So we'll be talking more about Warline tomorrow. Tonight, I kind of want to, drive the attention over to some of these guys and what they're working on too. So let's start off with JT. We'll go this way. We'll make it like a backwards S. Some people in some parts of the world call that a swastika.
What?
I mean,
wait, what? Where?
No, I don't know. Sorry. I'm not Jewish guy making this.
Wait, hold on. So this, then this, and then that, then that. I mean, that's a way to do it. I mean,
I don't know. The Japanese created the swastika, and it was a sign of peace. It's true. All right, JT, we're putting the. Oh, John just completely backed out. He's like, all right, I'm out. All right, JT, the camera's on you, dude. Everybody.
I'm hearing some double playback or whatever.
What's up?
I'm hearing some double playback or whatever.
Oh, are you?
On my end.
Yeah. Might be on your end. Nothing on mine.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm good on my end.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it either.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, I had two windows open. That's why I'm an idiot.
That's what got it right
it's
there.
My first day. It's my first day on the internet, fellas.
Well, we took the nervousness away. We just put the camera on you at your most confused moment. And I'm sorry.
I don't understand this video stuff. Is this the John Byrne forum? Is this
Yep.
Or is this comic boards? You remember comicboards.com?
Oh, boy.
Anybody old enough to remember that?
Go ahead,
what am I supposed to do? Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Once you if you want to share it, if you want to share your screen and walk us through your Kickstarter, you could do that, or you could just start with an intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Again, this is so disorganized. I'm sorry, everyone. We're disorganized. I'm disorganized. These guys are not disorganized at all. They're all awesome. John, I love your background.
I prefer the word authenticity. That's just me.
I'm selling certificates of authenticity for this show tonight, by the way.
Certificates of authenticity. Signed by Henri.
Yes.
How do I don't even know how to share things on here.
So you go to present.
Next to your
present. Yeah. Ooh, share screen.
Fancy now.
Share. Whoops, not deny. It's a good one. I want the good one.
We'll get there, guys. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Just look at JT's face.
Oh, there it is.
Just look at JT's face in the meantime. There we go. All right.
Okay.
You're up,
Watching
dude.
his glasses.
Actually, okay, yeah. So I got the Sapphire Spectre issue 8. It's a good one for y'all who like the Violet Void, who is kind of like her Venom, her Negaduct, her Darkwing Duck. This is gonna be a cool issue. I just finished it, drawing it last night. I'm scripting it right now, and yeah. Here, can we watch the video real quick? It's fun.
Absolutely. You take us away.
Cool. Yeah. I love the videos on these. I know some people are like, nobody watches that, but it's yeah, but I make people watch it because they're fun.
Yeah, exactly.
My friend Laura,
and how many hours did you spend working on it?
Yeah, probably a day. Yeah, usually. Because my friend Laura, she lives in North Carolina. She used to live around Chicago for a long time. I used to do indie film stuff with her and this group Kicker Rock that I used to hang with. And yeah, we kept in touch, and she loves Spectre and played her in a little short film I made. So she is my go-to Spectre. So here.
And I really like this video too. I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Welcome back, Spectre fans. You know, we really need a name for that, JT. Team Sapphire, Specterites, Paranormal Pack, Sappy Tabbies. We can workshop it. I thought those were pretty good, but thanks to all who backed issue 7. Issue 8 is going to be killer. Because 8's my favorite number. Because when you turn it on its side, it looks like an infinity symbol. And that's like us. You're never getting rid of me. Never. Like, ever.
My arch nemesis is back. No, not Rachel Ziegler. I mean the Violet Void. It's bad enough this psycho killer has been stalking me, but she's dragging my friends and family into it now too.
Yeah, let's see how that goes for you, Vivi. Ever heard the phrase, "F around and find out"? Will I have a new love interest now, JT? If you touch him, I will smack you way past Wrigley Field this time, all the way to Comiskey.
Let's talk covers. Newcomers, returning faves like C.D. Zane, Gabriel Riarte, Nick Capone, and connecting cosplay covers. We're talking both Trina and December facing off Mortal Kombat style. Oh, so hot.
2 chicks at the same time, man. Wait a minute. JT, did you really just put an Office Space quote in this script? You just made our demographic jump like 20 years with that shit, dude.
As always, everyone gets a sketch card drawn by JT. Yes, everyone.
And of course, all mailed in Geminis. Okay, gotta go prepare for my fight with Violet Void now. Could I get like a Rambo style montage or something like that? Like, you know, strap me up with some like giant gun. No budget. I guess for now, I will just put my game face on. Yep, that'll do. See you later, Sappy Taffies. Thanks for backing. I love you.
There's a post credits.
That's awesome, dude.
But really, I want my Rambo montage. You want me to call Pedro and get some of that Marvel money? Maybe just a storyboard? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
That's awesome, dude. That's a great video. I absolutely
Thank
loved
you.
it. It's just so engaging and so like fun. And dude, you are crushing it. Like I am in awe of you. Like I've always been in awe of you. You just launch these Kickstarter campaigns and you're like funded in minutes, like, 200, almost 200% funded. Like you are absolutely crushing it. Like good for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's always fun every time. It's always a nail biter too. I'm always like, "Oh, this is the time I'm gonna, that old imposter syndrome creeping up and all that stuff."
Oh man, you ain't lying.
I hear that, but dude, you honestly, you're the thing. We're both Spidey fans. You can keep sharing it. Let's look at your campaign. But one thing I want to say is we're both Spidey fans, like through and through. And this is the most like. This is the best book for anyone who's a Spidey fan. It just brings back that old 90s fun of a Spider-Man book. And I think you've just done such a great job creating this character and making this world around her and everything. I've read the first 4 issues. They're fantastic. They're just so much fun. And now you're on issue 8. Walk us through your campaign.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, it's hard not to be influenced by Spider-Man. It's like I love Witchblade and Fathom and like the Top Cow era. That's kind of what I was like going for. But it's like when I write her engaging with villains and stuff, it's so hard not to just write those quips, those Spidey quips. So I kind of do a little bit of that. So speaking of quips, this is I did this for the 3rd issue too when Violet Void started being a thing. I like to do the about section, like to take everybody through the what the story's about and that stuff. But I have Violet Void, the villain, like edit this. So it's like, who is the Sapphire Spectre? An idiot with emo hair. She just writes like stab, kill, death, like all their.
I saw that.
Some swearing, some
nice
fantasy violence.
Because campaign pages can get kind of stale to look at, and that's I noticed
that's so
exactly.
much
Yeah, so I do this for every time Violet Void pops her head around, I do that. So Yeah, it's just like sexy content, but it's there. False advertising. Sylvia is ugly. So yeah, I got some fun covers. That was a fun one to draw. I had like Violet Void like coming through like a house of mirrors at her from all different sides. Gabriel Riarte, speaking of Witchblade, which was really cool. He hit me up and I was like, "Oh yeah, yes please." So
That's so cool. He
I'm
came
doing,
to you. That's even cooler.
yeah, I'm doing a little cross promotion with Nick Capone, who's Purity #3 just ended and did well. So like I drew Sapphire Spectre on a Purity cover and he drew Purity on a Spectre cover. So like we drew each of them, you know, like both of them. And then like if you back that particular cover on our campaigns, we're sending like our #1s as a PDF to the backers of each, you know. So
Nice.
that was kind of fun. And I love Nick and I love Purity. It's a great book. And yeah, CB Zane, who I've been dying to work with for ages. I'm always watching his like you know, like artist shows and stuff like that. And he did like a Sapphire commish for somebody once, and I was like, ah, God, it's so good. I need him, you know. So finally got CB Zane. I colored that cover too, so that was cool. Yeah, and then this popped in my head.
I love that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like, you know, potentially greedy to have a connecting cover of the same issue, but I just thought it would be fun to have like, because like I always do a cosplay pack, you know, like I usually have when a cosplayer is involved, I'm like, well, I want to just, you know, use like more than one photo. So I usually have like 2 different poses for 2 different covers. So this time I'm like, whoa, what if I did like a versus screen, like Mortal Kombat 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
cool.
so I put, yeah, so I did like actually that's a picture I took of the Chicago River. It's like, I took that a few weeks ago. I like drove around until I found the right shot and I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I like jumped out of my car, put the hazards on, like ran to the bridge, took a bunch of pictures and just ran back to my car before it got towed or arrested or whatever.
I've wanted to do that so many times.
And both Trina and December have been with my campaigns before too, and they're both awesome. Trina goes by the name Really Gorgeous One these days. She used to be Harley Quinn SLC, so you can find her. Yeah, I always try to do like just a fun drawing of Sylvia for a splash cover. So I wanted to do that. Like, remember like that like, speaking of Spider-Man, that John Byrne cover where like he had like the negative space where it's like black costume Peter is flying through those buildings and all you see is like the crossword puzzle lights from the buildings and the spider white logo while the rest is just pitch black.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to do something like that. So it was like, I have like the black just kind of blend into her hoodie, you know?
Super cool.
And then some more Spider-Man here.
Yeah, nice
touch.
The logo
Yeah.
change is the logo change really adds to it, you know.
Yeah, right. I always try and find ways to like, and like add the Sears Tower just because it's Chicago instead of like the jail tower that like was in the original.
Well, you know, as
So
a
it's like-
fellow Chicagoan, I really love that you have the setting in Chicago. And like for anybody who is wondering, this book uses a lot of like actual locations in Chicago. So if you're like, even if you don't live in the area, it's like you kind of feel like you're part of, you know, you can kind of understand the culture in a way that's better than the Bear, by the way. Bear's,
Right.
The Bear's fake Chicago. It takes place in Chicago, but it's like no one tattoos 312 on their arms. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm gonna tattoo 847 on my arm.
Yeah, I was a Southsider. So 708 for the Southside.
Oh, 708, you're ghetto, dude. 708 was like so 1991.
Whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, and then I always do a punk rock homage. That's usually the one I order the least of, but I just put it up there because it's fun. But that's for MXPX's Life in General album, which was one of the first punk albums I bought as a 15-year-old with my own money. And it was kind of like, it's like one of the first like CDs I bought where like the songs weren't on the radio. And I was like, oh, like you can listen to music that isn't just on Q101 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the first band was Dead Milkmen.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
I was gonna say
Punk Rock Girl. I love that song.
Oh,
They
yeah.
covered that. MXPX covered
my
that.
backyard.
Chuck says JT drew vag today. I don't have a joke to go along with that. Just that it happened.
Who said that?
Chuck.
Oh yeah, I did. I can't show it. I blocked it out.
Oh.
But that's going on right now.
Unfortunate. That's really unfortunate that you blocked it out. I wanted to be the first YouTuber to go vag on one of my shows. We see a lot of penis on here. We don't see enough vag on here. There you go. I've been watching
Righteous Gemstones for the first time on HBO, and like,
oh, how is that?
Me and my wife were both like, we were like, there are so many wangs in this show.
Oh, is there? Okay,
it's great. It's so good.
There's a big disparity of wangs versus women's parts, so they got to catch up at some point in history, right?
Yeah,
it's because
they're really trying hard.
It's because Danny McBride knows that wangs equal funny, and he's correct.
Well, here's another thing too. Didn't they draw penises on plates in like the old Disney movies? Like I heard in Little Mermaid. They're like,
a lot of the coral on the cover.
Yep,
across the top of the thing looks a lot like an assortment from an adult toy store.
Yeah,
right. The last cover is a blank one. I was going for this minimalist thing. No, I'll be drawn on it. So, yeah, the interiors are fun. I'm having them like. Basically, the plot is Violet Void stalking her and all her friends. Like she, fought her the first time they met. Now the second time, she's like, "Hey, I'm coming after you again, and everybody you love." And she's like, "Oh, geez." So she had to like gather up everybody who knows her secret and is hiding in a Southwest Michigan like cabin and trying to figure out what to do and in preparation for when she shows up. But yeah, the tiers, early birds are gone, but yeah, just covers for each of them, and there's tons of ways to digital libraries. I like the pick 3 cover options; those are always fun. I'm doing digital drawings this time, like so you get the digital library, and I'll do like a digital drawing, so that's cool.
That's cool.
It's one plus when you are running a campaign that you are the artist for, is that you can, put art as part of the package. So. Original art pages from back when I used to use actual ink laying around here. Now I use my iPad like a chump. But yeah, tons of different ways to get cool art. 11 by 17 covers, ridiculous amount of stuff. I might drop the price on that just to see if anybody bites it. But yeah, it's going good, and always looking forward to more. And the issue 9 is being set up to be like a big like Sinister Six kind of thing. I'm calling Spirit War, so that's gonna be cool.
That's awesome. All right, so I got a question for you.
What do you got?
So you've hit your goal already, and you're still pushing this. And here's the thing I've come to understand about all Kickstarters, because I know it's true of even my Kickstarter. There's the funding goal, meaning your minimum. What is your real goal? Like, what do you hope to really come out of here with, and why?
Probably over 7K. Yeah, because like I mean, the 3K isn't really a lie. It's like that's like the minimum amount to like I could probably print every book for every backer and like break completely even. But I like to be able to print more than I need to ship so that I can actually have them for shows and stock and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like in order to have the amount that I want to bring to a show or just kind of have laying around in boxes, I would rather be up in the 7 or so range. And yeah, the first one did like 15, and that was back in the COVID days when we were all eating pretty well. But yeah, it seems to have dropped to like a 7 to 9K range, like usually each time.
That's cool. All right, man. Well, I hope you hit your goal. You're working really hard on this, and
Nick's here. Ooh, Courtney's
here. We got Courtney here. Got Divinity Comics here. Chuck's here. He said Henri wants to be a British soldier because he's one hell of a beef eater. I like beef. I don't like wiener, but I like beef.
JT, have you?
I went to that castle.
I mean, I do like Gene and Jude's wieners, but like the hot dogs, not the actual wieners. Like I don't like going over there.
No, we got what you meant.
Can I see your wiener?
We all understood what you meant.
Make sure I'm just drawing all the, just making sure everything's clear here.
Sorry, John.
Portillo's is also great. Divinity Comics, yes, I love Portillo's too. All right, John, you were going to say something. I cut you off.
I was just going to say, JT, I don't know if I've ever heard you say, do you have a planned amount for the series? Or are you just going until it doesn't fund one day? Or what's your plan here?
I have it planned out to 15 right now.
Nice.
Like, depending on whether or not like people want me to keep going, I could keep going. I could like prolong, because there's like an epilogue I have in mind. Like I know where this whole giant gradual story arc I've been building to is heading to, because they're very episodic, but there's also stuff going on in the background, like old school comics, where it's like
cool,
there's always a plot B going on, and then like it builds. So once that build is done, I could go straight to the epilogue, or I could keep telling stories until people get bored. You know, I don't know. But right now it's 15. So
good for you, man. You keep it up, dude. You're doing killer, man. I'm freaking impressed and proud of you, dude. You're totally killing.
Thank you.
All right, John, you're up. Take it away.
We're going to Europe. What? All right.
We're going to Europe. You want to share your screen?
Yeah. Let's do that. Window. First, let me make it a fancy window. Present. Share screen. Window. This window. All right.
What's up, Courtney? Courtney's awesome. I actually really enjoyed meeting Courtney at C2E2 this year. Courtney, you're awesome. Love having you here.
So did me.
I managed to miss you guys in a building of 40,000 people.
Was it 40,000? I thought it was like double that.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
You were there, bro? Shit.
Yeah, Friday felt like a Saturday. And then I usually don't go on Saturday at all because it's like, absolute mayhem. And then Sunday with the kids was crazy as well.
Of course, yeah.
Which is good. I felt
that is a good thing.
Battle in and out.
Absolutely. What's up, K-pop? We got K-pop in the house. Go ahead, dude. Take it away.
All right. So this is Final Heist, our love letter to 80s, 90s action, crime, horror movies, romance. It's a blending of genres. We have 3 awesome covers based on that. Myself and co-writer Aaron Dowen, who did our video. I definitely big props to JT on his videos. I honestly don't put enough time into them. I don't have enough skill. It frustrates me. So this time around, I brought in a co-writer who also has an amazing background in videography and graphic design and all that. So Aaron did an amazing video for us, but Aaron is also the co-writer of the book. And this is really, I consider all my artists, the artists working on the books, my co-creators, but I've never really worked with a specific co-writer. So this was a new thing for me. I'd originally brought Aaron in to edit the script, and he enjoyed it so much that he helped me co-write it. And we've kind of been sitting on it for a while. It had an artist change, and then it wasn't the right time to do it in the schedule. But here we are in 2025 for the Final Heist, which each of these covers kind of has some unique content in the back. We felt like, people love their variant covers, but those who get all the variant covers don't always get, extra content in there. So each of these, depending on the genre that it's kind of riffing on here, we put some unique content in the back. So I thought that was kind of a unique thing for this project, but really it's hopefully not your standard, a group of ex-cons gets back together to make a heist, because this heist occurs at the world's oldest bank, which is rumored to be in Italy. And we have an Italian artist, Deborah Lancinisi, who's working with us, a real Italian artist who can draw, that area of the world, because she can see it, outside her house. So we brought her in to do the interior art in one of our covers. And I'm really happy. The book is actually completely done, which we don't always have when we do these campaigns. Often, I'm halfway done or 3/4 or still working my way through it. But this book, again, has been kind of in the works for a while. So we're happy to finally get it out there into the world.
So Divinity Comics says you are doing a great job, brother. That's awesome. Thank you. Argyle for life. That's what K-pop says. We got a full room right now. I just want to thank everybody for being in here. People are popping in and hanging out. So thank you guys. It seems like this all works so much better when I'm not like planning anything, where I just kind of like, sorry, I'll shut up. You take it away, John.
I feel like that's kind of
fools.
A lot of us have come to the conclusion that it's just better just to kind of go live and
Yeah.
And see what happens, right? But yeah, we got a bigger budget on this one. This was a bigger budget project. It's 32 full pages. Again, there's some unique content in the back of each book. And so, this budget is much higher than most of our books are at. And we're still kind of a ways off from that, but we understood. Thanks, Divinity Comics. Yeah. LCS was our last one that this launched. And actually, if you can see back here, I'm in the middle of shipping out 2 Kickstarters, which is always the best time to launch a Kickstarter when you have 2 that you're shipping out. So I figured, why not?
We've got plenty of spare time.
Right. But yeah, we knew this being a new project. You never know how people are going to react to that on Kickstarter. So we're excited to have 61 people jump in here this first week. And we're hoping to get to goal in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, man, I can only imagine how you're feeling right now, and I'm gonna help out right now. I want to get the ball rolling here. So I'm gonna back your campaign right here, right now.
Well, we appreciate that. You do enough for the comics community.
You can never do enough for the comics community. Like that's one thing I'm realizing, and I'm very lucky to have the support that I do from all you guys. So you got my backing, and I hope someone here will join me in this and help out John here. So I'm definitely going to pick up a cover A here. This looks great.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate it. And again, there's some not so subtle hints that, again, hopefully there's a kind of a twist on the heist story that we got going here. And again, each of these kind of unique covers plays into that story. We've got hollow foil covers, which will be the first time for us, so we're excited about that. You can get drawn in the book. We haven't had anybody take advantage of that, but I know in the past that people love being drawn in the book, including we'll create an original page just for you to get offed in the book, because I know for some reason people like that too. So we'll do a whole new page. So we'll do a whole page. Like, I haven't even written the page yet. I'm gonna write you your own page, and you get to kind of choose how the gang takes you down in the book. So take advantage of that. But we've got these awesome logo stickers, which were also done by co-writer Aaron Dowan. So again, he was a great person to bring on to kind of really round out this book, because that is not my strength. I am in no way a graphic designer. I've dipped my toes in a few times, but why not bring in someone who actually has a professional background in it, right?
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with not being able to do everything. Like every single time I go to Kickstarter and I see like some of the videos, and they're just like, even JT's video, like that intro with the Marvel style intro, I'm like, no, the fuck did he do that shit? Fucking
I worked in TV for 20 years.
Yeah. So I know I can't do that shit. I can just do like simple panning in and out. I use the
iVideo. Yeah, me too.
So, if you can get it to look better by collaborating with someone else, like, why the hell not? That's what you should be doing. You're doing everything right, dude.
Yeah, and I've been doing this a while, so sometimes your stubbornness takes you a while to realize, what? I have all these amazing friends in the community, or great co-creators that for little to no money will help you take your project to the next level. So why not?
Yeah, for sure. We got Aaron Roblowski here. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, dude?
What's up, Aaron?
So Divinity Comics says John is probably one of my favorite indie writers in the game right now. That is an endorsement.
You email that to me. I need proof of that.
The proof's in the pudding. It's on YouTube now, so that's it.
Need a plaque.
He's one of my favorite to steal from, because I absolutely stole the Hold My Shipping. I saw that on, I think, Drumsticks of Doom, and I've been using that ever since. And the people overseas, thank you for it.
Absolutely.
Actually,
what is this?
You have to run me through this. I have not heard. I am going to steal this. I like
brilliant.
My shipping.
So I found out again after being in the game for about 15 years that even after all these years, but all the way back to our first campaigns, I see a lot of the same names. Mm-hmm. Some are friends, some are family, some are, fans that we picked up along the way. And I just realized, man, these people are coming back so much. I have to try and do something to help them save a buck. So this is kind of what I came up with. Hey, you just back it as an add-on. You choose Hold My Shipping, and then that signals me to refund your shipping for that campaign. And then whenever you stop choosing that, then I'll ship your books out. So we always have a full slate of books every year, 3, 4, 5 this year, 5 last year. So why not, let them do that? It's gone pretty good. Each campaign, 6 to 10 people choose it. And I still feel like it's worth the extra effort because, again, I think they really do appreciate it, especially our international backers, because they don't want to, if they know they're going to buy 2 books this year, 3 books this year, why not pay $20 instead of, $18 3 times or something like that?
I had a guy in the U.S. pick it last time. I was like, okay, sure. I'll put it on the shelf with the rest of them for overseas. Absolutely.
Yeah, we have several U.S. backers that choose it way more than international because, again, it's such a good feeling. They're confident we're going to come out with the slate of books. And then they know if something happens, a book gets canceled, we can square up. We can figure it out. I haven't failed to deliver. I'm very proud of that in 15 years on any books. So it's good that they kind of see that they can trust and do that.
That's awesome, dude.
It's something I can suggest you try, especially, again, if you have a handful of those backers that always come back.
Especially if you've got the regular backers. Like I've got a guy in Singapore that buys every cover, everything that I offer every time. And the thing is, it costs the same thing to send him 1 floppy to Singapore as it does to send like 3 pounds. Right. So like we were talking about it the other day and he was like, well, in that case, just let's ship it at the end of the year and just ship everything at one time. And I was like, cool. Yeah, no problem. I'll be happy to.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I still have absolutely no idea how any of this stuff works. I'm like looking at it. And it's not, I'm sure it makes sense. I just have to like stare at it for like 3 hours. It's like kind of like one of those 3D images where you like stare at it and eventually you see.
No, I get it. And we've had a lot of people who are regular backers who haven't taken advantage of it. So I do wonder if, sometimes it's not as simple as I'm kind of laying it out, but hopefully more people will take advantage. And again, for your campaigns, if you're going to launch 3 War Lions in a year, somebody might say, hey, put me down for all of them,
And that's the thing with me. I only do like 2 Kickstarters a year max. Like last year was the first time I did 2 Kickstarters. I have no idea how you guys do like 6 of these things a year. No idea. How you do it.
It's we like to suffer.
Yeah, seriously.
I would love to. I would love to
do anything.
I would love to too. I just can't. I don't have enough stuff to put out there. You know what I mean? Like it's. I'm producing maybe 1 or 2 books a year. Like maybe.
I'm now as of a couple of weeks ago. I'm now working for Ethereal as a project manager. That's kind of like my job now. So I'm actually making Kickstarters every 2 weeks for them. So. Yeah, they do a lot.
You got to squeeze yours in.
Yeah. Richard Fairgray is the guy I'm keeping my eye on because he illustrates his books like I do. So, and he knocks out a lot of Kickstarters every year. It's just
always
one after another, after another, after another. And I'm watching him and I'm picking his brain when I can. Like, I just physically can't do that many and pitch them and get the books done and do any client work at the same time because I got other people that want to get their books done too. And that's kind of how I half pay my mortgage with their stuff and then half pay it with my own stuff. And
yeah, if I was rich, I could do it, but I'm not. Yeah. So
if I could pay you to do it for me,
sit around and draw all day.
Absolutely do it. Yeah, let's do 12 a year, no problem. If I could just make books and you could run the Kickstarter, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it is crazy. How you guys are doing this. I'm just absolutely in awe. And Divinity Comics is doing a campaign every month. What's up, CJ? How you doing? And it's inspiring to me to see how you guys are running all this. And let me just tell everybody who's not who doesn't do this stuff, who's just like a fan, the fulfillment aspect of everything is the other half of the work. And whatever the goal is, usually the fulfillment side is not only time consuming, but it's also very expensive when you're shipping everything and taking all that stuff. Like I figured out conventions, but Kickstarter is still that one area where I'm trying to navigate, and I'm just so inspired by everybody I see here. But John, this is great. Thank you for sharing it. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we move on?
No, just thanks for inviting me on and
up
about the book.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still going to be talking, so don't go anywhere. But Fish, you now take the stage, dude.
Alrighty.
Hang on. There you go.
There we go. We are at, I think, like 93% of goal. Got 7 days left. It is going well. It got a really good start, and then we hit the slump as always. But it's been a steady trickle of people coming in, and I really appreciate everybody who has been sharing it out. This is Alice Lost in Wonderland. It is the story I've been working on for 30 years. Alice has spent her entire life in this interdimensional rift of Wonderland. So every public domain story, fairy tale you've ever heard of are different aliens and robots and ghosts and things from different dimensions crashing together into this rift. And they're all characters in this book. She's got the Tin Man by her side, trying to help keep her out of trouble that she's always getting herself into. She's got half of the Vorpal sword that cuts through reality and time so she can cut these portals and go wherever she wants to go. It's a 32-page book, just like the first issue. In the first issue, she got challenged into making this deal with the cobbler and all of his little spider finger elf things. And now she's bloodbound by this magical contract to have to hunt down the White Rabbit, who is her adopted dad. He saved her life as a kid, took her through all these dimensions and traveled time trying to save her life. And then by the time he saved her, he couldn't figure out how to get her back home. And they spent like a month looking for it, and they couldn't find it. And finally, he took her to Wonderland and did his best to raise her and didn't do a very good job. And now she's a deadly bounty hunter, but now she kind of hates him. And
the art is beautiful, man.
Thank you.
It's you who does it, right? You just said that.
Oh yeah, I do it all myself.
I'm such a fan of like just clear two-tone. Like it's so
oh
nice.
Yeah, I could go on forever about that. Like, and then I have to make things hard on myself. Like when I do the Queen of Hearts, long story. It's not in the book yet. It will be, but in a war, she stole the tech from the wizard when she took over the Emerald City. She stole his tech, so now she only projects herself in this big giant holographic head so she can hide and not be killed because everybody hates her. But so I have to draw this pixelated giant holographic head all the time from all these different angles, and of course it has to be in perspective in this cylindrical pattern, and I had to figure out how to do pixel art in a it's been complex. I can't just make it easy on myself.
Yeah, but it looks amazing, dude.
Thank you. I'm really proud of the way the book's coming out. So anyway, we've got the first issue's done. The second issue is half done. It should be done by the time Kickstarter releases the funds and be ready to go to print. I'm printing in Little Rock, which is like an hour away from me, so I don't even have to pay shipping fees to get it to me. I could just go pick it up, which I'm super excited about this time.
I thought you were printing yourself.
I do that in Indiana.
I do. I have, like, for my Patreon, I used to print myself early copies of the books and ship out to my Patreon backers and stuff, so they get it before everybody else and get custom covers and stuff. Gotcha. But like for doing a big run, it's a little too time consuming for me when they got automated machines that can like do all the stapling and cutting and stuff. And and I've gone to doing like offset print runs and doing bigger numbers because I know I'm going to keep going to shows. I'm going to keep selling the book. And that's one thing that I think a lot of creators, they get in the mindset of like, well, I'm running this Kickstarter and then however many people back this is all the people that are going to get the book. And then I go on to issue 2. But there's always going to be new people at new shows and new events that I go to that have never heard of this Alice Lost in Wonderland. And I'm always going to be able to sell the first issue and the second issue. So
dude, I've been selling the same books, selling out of the same book for the last 15 years, dude. Like,
you don't have to tell Andre how to print a print run. Some people leave money on the table. I mean, it's true. Yes, you can go back and print it at any print on demand, but you're leaving a lot of dollars on the table if you don't think ahead about that.
Well, I think the way comics have worked too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Fish.
Oh, go ahead.
It's like the way comics work is like the output is so high, right? So like if you look at Marvel, for example, they're putting out an issue of Spider-Man every month. It's not like they can just go back and focus on one particular issue. But even recently, they've been doing that. They've been re-releasing facsimiles and doing hollow foils of those, and they've taken like all their like most popular runs and then the trades and everything. So, I mean, if a story really matters, it'll see multiple printings, and there's no reason why we can't be doing the same thing, you know?
Oh yeah. And like that's the thing I noticed when I hung out with Henri at C2E2 last year, and I just sat there at his booth and studied him. I've been offering to like go and haul boxes for him or whatever, just so I could watch him sell and study. And I was kind of surprised, but because he does bigger print runs, he can sell his books a lot cheaper. And I was really of the mindset that we should sell our books as expensive as we could get. And I had moved from like $5 up to $10 for my books. And it shows I maybe would sell 70% as many books at double the price, but I made more profit on less books. And so I came out making more money in the end compared to what I was making before. But after I was watching,
there's no right way to do it. You know, it's got to feel right for you. You know, I've seen people do exactly the same thing, and I've seen some people go at conventions and, you know, sell like a ton of their books at, you know, $50, and, you know, or their graphic novels or whatever. I mean, it's got to work for you, because I think when you're presenting yourself, you got to really believe in what you're out there telling people, you know, your book is about. And I think no matter what price point you're doing it at, it's as long as they're on board with you and what you're doing. Oh yeah, they're gonna jump on, you know.
And the thing is, like, I still got all the hardcore, like, I love indie comics, I'm looking for indie comics kind of guys like me. They bought it. I'd buy a $10 book and not scoff at it, because I want to check out the cool weird stuff that's going on in indie comics. But when I was watching on remake sales, he was getting so many of those, oh, what the hell, that's a good deal sales. And I never got those. And so I decided to switch it up at the next show and just sell the books at the price I could get them reprinted at if I offset printed them. And I freaking sold out of so many things. And I had like 2 grandmas buy everything on my table. They didn't even read comics, but they're like, oh, that's a good deal. I could put these in stockings at Christmas. And I was like, you go nuts. Put issue 1, 2, 3, and 4 in 4 different people's stockings if you want. Though hopefully they'll come looking for the rest of the books later. And that sold me. And I make so many of those. Oh, heck, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that sales now that I never would have got before. If nobody else has ever thought of it, it hit me this time. I did milestone goals on my pre-launch this time. I did it a little bit late, but for like every 50 people that followed, we released a new thing. We almost made it to the second release, but I only thought to do it at the end. So if that helps you guys at all, getting people
actually, I really love that. That was like the first thing that I saw. Like, I had the little gifs of the little levels and the little tiers. Like, that is so.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. Now I want to do that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like I stole from John, steal from me, dude. Take it and use it. It worked. It was a great idea. I wish I had done it a lot earlier, but we released this 2 2.25 inch button magnet that I really like, because I got one of these button magnets from another campaign, and it is the one knickknack that I see all the time because it's on my refrigerator holding up a picture of my grandkids. And I'm like, nice. I want to do one now because of that. So we got that unlocked with the pre-launch rewards, and then we unlocked a sticker with the milestone rewards. Now I'm sure we'll hit the second one before the end of the campaign. And then we've got stretch goals that I would love to hit and unlock some cool new add-ons and stuff that people can throw in. And then we've got like the build your own tier and the digital tier. These all include domestic shipping for everybody. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible and not be like, well, how much is it going to be when we actually get to the end? It's, you know, it's listed here. As long as you're in America, this is how much it's going to cost to get it. And then we've got like a big poster of Wonderland that you see in the book as like digital desktops and posters. And we got the new Alice logo t-shirt and the whole digital collection. We've got the digital files for the D&D minifigures that you can get, like printed figures in this campaign if you want, or you can get the digital STLs as part of the, you know, digital deluxe file. I'm going to be doing audio read-along version to go with it, because I know personally, like coming from the Tourette's community, I know I have a lot of dyslexic fans that follow my stuff. And I got one guy that buys everything, And after the last book, he was telling me like, man, I've looked at your book so many times. I haven't read it yet, but I've looked at it like 6 times and it's awesome. And I was like, why would I not make something to make this as easy as possible? And I was reminded of the old, like cassette tape, turn the page when you hear the chime books that we get as a kid. And I'm like, man, that's easy enough to do. We can do that and put that in there.
Nice.
And you can get the big pack that comes with the minis and the little mini comic that shows the second part of how Alice met Big Ten for the first time when she was a kid. And then you've got the big swag pack that has the whole library and everything, which I've had to go up to much bigger boxes now because I can't fit the whole library in Gemini mailer anymore.
That's funny.
And then we've got the add-ons and stuff. We've got a new acrylic figure this time with the White Rabbit and Alice when she's young and still loves him and thinks he's awesome. And we've got the minis and physical or STLs. We've got the delayed shipping add-on. We've got the worn cereal box cover for Malia Mayhem. That's only available. This worn variant is only available here. It's the only place to get it if you want it. Cool. And then we've got all of the back issues in bundles. I'm not doing them singly anymore because it just got to be so many freaking SKUs at the end of the campaign. So if you haven't read the Mighty Caw, you can get all of the Mighty Caw in one thing. If you need issue 4, hit me up personally.
Mighty Caw's fucking awesome. Fucking Mighty Caw will kick you in the dick. It is so good. I love Mighty Caw. So much fun.
If you liked it, Alice has a lot of that flavor. Like it's got some depth and stuff to it, like Green Zone does, but it also it's pretty bloody and it's pretty violent. And I absolutely love Alice. She's one of my favorite characters I've ever worked on because she's spent a long time on her own in Wonderland now, and she's a little bit feral and really dangerous. And then, like you were saying, we've got digital commissions and stuff, and I'm going back to doing actual drawing on paper with ink, and so you can also get like 11x17 drawings of whatever you want. So hit it up, check it out.
Killer.
That's what I've got.
Yeah, Fish, I love your art, man. I don't think I've ever actually seen it because, we talked for a good long time last year at C2E2, and then I don't think I ever actually saw it, so it's fucking great, dude.
Thank you, man. I had to teach myself how to draw 3 different times because I used to work with a brush, and then my Tourette's got so bad that I shook so much I couldn't have an open bottle of ink around anymore. So I had to reteach myself how to ink and draw with pens, and then I got so shaky I couldn't do that anymore. Spent 15 years in a wheelchair. Long story. By the time I got back out, I started working digitally and had to learn to do it all over again. And somewhere along in there, I went back to the beginning and taught myself how to draw from scratch again because I realized when I was doing stuff in the graphic design world and T-shirts and signs and all this stuff as my day job, when I would use tropes from the comic book world, like a bunch of cross-hatching all over the face that we're used to, people would be like, why does she have all those lines on her face? She doesn't have all those lines on her face in the picture. And I had to go back and learn how do I best portray this image on white paper with black lines and start over from scratch. And I ended up with a lot more old school looking style than most of the people my age that, came of age in the 90s and crosshatched every living inch of the page. And so, it's definitely got an more old school feel to it. And I love the graphic pop of simpler colors and, not going super heavy on all the rendering. And it's what I dig. And so
fits the feel of the book. It looks really cool. And you say you've been working on this book for 30 years, but you're only 25 years old. How could you be working on this for 30 years?
I just celebrated the 25th anniversary of my 25th birthday.
Hey, no one's allowed to charm me. No one's allowed to charm me on my show here, John.
Next thing you know, you're gonna be talking about the fine polish on my head, man. Stop it! You make me blush.
Fish, this is looking fantastic. one thing I forgot to do for both JT and John is I forgot to share links. So Fish, I shared your link, and right now I'm gonna let everybody see JT's face. Say hi, JT.
Hi.
Yeah, we're all looking at you now, and I'm going to drop the link for Sapphire Spectre. I don't know, something weird is going on my computer. Oh, oops, sorry. Something weird was going on my computer, and it was my phone was.
Look at my toys. Oh my god.
There we go. So that's JT right here. I'm just posting a link to his campaign here. So there's his campaign. And now you guys can see Mr. Charm Stealer over here. That's John. And we're going to put his link over here. And John's also Chicagoite. We got a lot of, hometowners here.
We do.
Got a theme going.
Yeah. All right,
I'm
cool.
Chicago-ish.
Chicago-ish. Yeah, I'm Chicago. Don't pull that whole suburban crap on me. We're all
Naperville is not part of Chicago.
We're all Chicago here. All right. Well, I brought in Mr. Aaron Wroblewski here. Aaron is one of my favorite indie creators. I love what this guy's doing, and we're going to give this guy a chance to talk about his campaign here. So, Aaron, if you want to share the screen here, so we can see your campaign, go ahead.
Sure. 1 second. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, I'm trying to add it right now to the stage here.
I snicker every time because I was on a podcast recently with a lady that was just enjoying showing off her campaign and the video. We couldn't see any of it. She was scrolling and never shared her page. It was so funny.
I can't share the screen for some reason. What's going on? Here, hold on. Oh, it's because Fishes is here. All right, there we go. Now we go. There we go. All right. So, Aaron, you're a little bit further ahead than you were on Tuesday.
A little bit. I got like two backers in a week.
That is, I feel you so much on this front, and I'm glad you're here right now. I'm going to let you take it away.
I hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. I would love you if I saw you, dude. Go for it.
It's my usual. It's always a struggle, but we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Anenra is a apocalyptic horror. It follows. It kind of is a pre and post. So the first 6 to 8 pages is a glimpse into the future. So you can see the survivor here. And he's got his trusted companion Sam as they struggle to pretty much survive in a apocalyptic London with mutated monsters, as you can see at this one. And then the main body of each issue follows a team of doctors as they struggle to understand and stop a virus. The first issue is free to download from the main page. So please give it a download. Is it all right to play the video?
Yeah, of course. Play it. Do it away. Looks great, bro.
Thank you. So the story kind of starts in the first arc, which is the first 4 issues, following a British Airways flight lands at Heathrow Airport, and its passengers are all dead. Some are cocooned in like a dark, fleshy mass that you kind of glimpse in the trailer, and it's very much like The Last of Us. I don't know if you've seen Helix. It was like a limited run science fiction horror. I enjoyed it. But this is like Sam and his Sam and Survivor as they like kind of just roam around London, just trying to survive one day at a time. All the artwork is done by Ezekiel. Same artist has done Blood and Fire, Ice and Bone series. So he's done this from the first issue. Hopefully he'll continue until the 16th.
Awesome.
It's
awesome.
such a beautiful book.
Mm-hmm.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, and we know it you know, you kind of half-heartedly joked about it being a struggle. It's a struggle for a lot of people. I'm glad to see you fighting it out. You know, you got these stories to get out. I know you got multiple series going now, so you know, keep at it, and you know, it'll find its audience. But it's been a tough year and a half.
Yeah, it's just a cool package. It's like I like the art direction in general. Just the way everything just kind of vibes with the art style, the logo, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the actual volume 1 is a wraparound, so it's like a double cover. And then we got some lovely, awesome variant covers.
That's that one's badass. I really like that.
Yeah.
One.
That's cool.
And then we introduced the Ruckus, which is one of the characters Jacob's kind of favorite Aberdeen band. My actual close friend is the drummer. They kindly gave us a soundtrack to the last campaign, number 6, and I was going to use this one as a stretch goal, but when number 6 is funded in the last 30 seconds, I didn't get a chance to use it, so now I'm using it as a freebie for this campaign.
Nice.
So
That's
hopefully
cool.
it gets them a bit more fans overseas. They kick ass and do a lot of gigs over in Scotland, so they're really cool.
Nice. What kind of band are they?
Rock. I can do a quick 30-second intro to them.
Nice. Nice. John and I approve.
So I'm doing a little differently. So every 10 backers, I unlock a new freebie PDF.
Look at that. You already get a comic from me for free.
I know. I need to update this. These two unlocked.
I love the Red 10. That's a great series.
Yeah. I've got some good all the old previous issues are all available as add-ons. We have collector prints, trading cards, all the various covers. We got pins, buttons, key rings, t-shirts, of course the plushie that I'm sure Travis Gibb will love. We do have quite a few kind of rewards. So there's the volume print. So you can be in a panel.
Ooh, cool.
You can be as a character who is a mutated human, if you so wish.
Nice.
And you can actually be in the cover of number 8, you and a loved one. So it's basically 2 for 1. So 2 characters. So you and your son, your daughter.
I don't think I've ever seen someone offer a cover.
Yep.
That's
you will be immortalized as number 8's cover. I actually dropped the price because this was originally 500, but I thought it was a bit steep from last time, so I dropped it to. But you don't get the you did get a kind of signed copy of your characters, so I took that off because that was like cost me $100 to do that. So for the artist, so I've kind of dropped it. So yeah, that is the campaign.
Nice.
Hopefully, people like it and come back and
I have
like it.
I have a quick story for 1 second. Like, a couple of us have like done get drawn in the comic, kind of thing. I usually just do it for like friends or family, or like, if I put it on Facebook, like, hey, who wants to die in this issue? And people line up in the comments or whatever. But I did it once or twice on campaigns, and you really got to specify in the tier listing that you'll just be a background character, because this one lady like hit me up and she got the tier, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool. I didn't think anyone would bite, and then she like emailed me and I told her like kind of what the scene was. It was like going to be at like a dance club or something, and like I was like, all right, you'll be like in the background. And she's like, oh, can I be wearing this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And it's like, can I be doing this? Okay, what if me and the villain like blah, blah? And then she started like writing the comic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just had to start being like, I don't know, like I've already got it written and stuff. And then, by the time like I was trying to think of something, nice enough to say to turn her down, she like had already backed out. So I was like, all right, from now on, I gotta specify that you cannot write the damn thing. You're just gonna be a face in the background, dude.
We've had a good experience with it. Only nobody's made any extensive demands, but I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, I've had the same problem. Like, partly my OCD kicks in, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, because usually I'll draw characters in the background already, and then if somebody bites, I'll put you over that character, and then I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute, when the camera turns, now they'd be over here, and really, you'd be able to see them in the background of this shot, so that what I planned on being one shot ends up being them in the background of like 6 shots, because my OCD won't let me let go of it, and like where they should be in space. Or on my very first book, I offered it, and this lady bought it, and she wanted her daughter to be in it, and her daughter's in a wheelchair, which is great. I stuck her in a wheelchair, and then she's got a Great Dane as her personal dog to help get her around school. Well, this scene was taking place like in a middle school, so a kid in a wheelchair wasn't a big deal. The Great Dane doesn't make sense in the cafeteria, so I ended up having to stick her in like 5 panels so we could see the dog from enough places and see that it was her service dog. And at one point, they're in the foreground of a shot just so you can see service dog on the little vest and stuff. So it all makes sense why this Great Dane's in the middle of the cafeteria. Right. But it was
you probably made her life with that.
Oh yeah, we're still friends to this day.
That's awesome.
Turned out to be
I mean, if no one like picks the tiers, then I have like friends and family who are kind of surprised. I did it for like the last issue. I just sent him my cousin the page, and he was like, "Why are you sending me this?" And then he kind of looked at it again and like, "Oh my fucking god, that's me!" So he got a kick out of that. So
I've got Facebook messages of people like, I'm like, "Hey, can you take a picture of you screaming for me?" You know what I mean? And then I'm like, "Ah!" And that's the reference I work with and whatever.
You're almost always making funny faces in photos, JT.
That's true. I'm like Calvin and Hobbes, where his dad takes a picture and immediately.
On the last issue of Green Zone, I was finishing it up like right after the campaign ended. I was finishing the last couple of pages before Kickstarter released the funds, and I needed people in the background, and I was inking, and I was like, I've got room. I could just start sticking some of the early backers in there. And one of the first backers is a guy that backs everything, and he's got a TikTok channel, and he's really weird and is a bit of a comedian. Is always making these strange faces. So I ended up like, he gets his butt kicked throughout the last couple of pages of the book because he makes so many extreme faces when he's rapping or whatever else on his channel that I like, I was like, I can put her fist right there and it'll fit. And so, that worked out great for references. I absolutely loved it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, it looks like we shared everybody's campaign here. And I guess we still got some time If you guys are okay with it, I'll share my campaign real quick.
Absolutely, man.
No way.
Do it.
No.
I love
I
Warline,
really
man.
don't. I'm so tired of talking about it, but hey, you got one more thing. I have no choice.
No joke. Warline's one of the best roller coasters I've been on in a comic in a long time. I need to read issue 3. I haven't read 3. I've read 1 and 2.
If you hate roller coasters, this isn't the book for you. There's the endorsement right here. All right. So we are under $500 away from funding Warline. We have 130 backers and now officially 24 hours to go. We're in the final day here. And I guess I'll just play our video real quick and, hopefully it's not too loud for anybody, but let's do it.
I don't hear nothing.
I don't hear anything. Do you guys hear anything?
No.
Mm-mm.
Can no one hear anything?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No one can hear anything?
Nope.
No.
Well, then I guess we're not playing the video then.
That's why I didn't play
Actually,
mine.
you know what? I could do it a different way, actually. Hang
You
on.
had to share the sound or something.
No, I can actually just upload the actual video. So hold on. 'Cause I'm on the computer that I built it on. So, just give it a second here, and and then you guys can all just, you'll hear it. It just takes a second.
Here, I have something to share real quick.
Yes, go ahead. Share away while this thing is uploading. Go ahead. Take it away.
Since we were talking about drawing people in books. Is it Sharon?
Yes.
Is it up there?
Oh, you sharing?
Yeah,
here, hold on. I'm adding you to the stage. Hold on. I got to kick myself out first. And now I got to add you. All right, go ahead.
There it is. All right, this is from Sapphire Spectre 7. Takes place at a con. We got Henri back in the background.
I love that. I actually love that. Except I feel like I look Latino here.
Everybody I've shown that to.
Is that the hilt of the sword as well sticking up?
You know what's funny is everybody I've shown that to was like, it's incorrect though because Henri's behind the table.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of in front of it. I'm like, yeah.
He's not doing his pose.
No, it's great. I'm actually, JT. I think you're like the first person to actually like draw me into a comic, and I'm deeply grateful for that. All right, this video is just uploading right now, but I guess in the meantime, I'll just walk through the campaign, and then I'll show the video last. So, like I said, we're less than $500 from funding. We got a day left. The main reward that we're really trying to push here is to get all 3 issues of Warline. At $30, you get all 3 issues signed by me, and you get the digital versions too, and shipping is included on that. And that's the entire mini-series. And each book is 48 pages in length. Warline itself is about an old vigilante and his daughter going after the tyrant that destroyed their lives and now controls their city. And the reason why we're on Kickstarter is because we're trying to finance the print run of this final issue here. And the book is actually printed now. I had 300 copies shipped out in advance, so I'll have them by next week. These are copies that I'm going to set aside for Kickstarter, so I'll be able to take care of all of our backers pretty quickly here. And we'll definitely be able to get some fulfillment underway, just as soon as the campaign ends. And here's some of the interior artwork by Dexter Wee and colors by Steve Cannon. And this book's consistent from cover to cover, issue to issue. We got the same team working on everything. We got variant covers here. This one is by Chris Madd. This one has been the most popular variant that we've had for issue 3 so far, and there's lots of reasons why. It's a killer cover. And
the Madds are awesome.
Yeah, and Madd and I talked about working on this around the time that we were at C2E2, JT, and his dad died, and he still showed up and did the work, and I'm very grateful for that. He's a really solid cat. I love Madd. Can't say anything about him, bad about him. And then we have the Canaan White cover here that's colored by Adriana de los Santos, who works on Yisun Shin. She's been our colorist on Yisun Shin since the beginning. And Kanan was really proud of how the colors turned out on this, and he actually shared.
I love the fire behind it.
Yeah, she does a really killer job of like just rendering the hell out of like background details. Like she can just like build out an entire background, which is really, really incredible. And then we have a Staniak variant with colors by Robert Nugent, who is the current colorist on Spawn, and Staniak has done stuff for Turtles, and he's worked on a ton of indie books. Really talented dude. We still have our early bird reward. You can get all 4 variant covers. And the reason why I kept the early bird up throughout the entire campaign is because we're only doing a small run of these variant covers here. So these 3 covers right here, there's probably going to only be like 25, 30 copies of these most. And I'm not, I'm not reprinting them or doing anything like that. We also have a cover here. This is a really cool embossed cover that we did for C2E2, and JT actually did the colors on this, and April Reyna did the artwork. I'm really proud of this. And if you back the Warline campaign, you will get a triple signed copy of the book. So we only have 5 of these left. The book's sold out at C2E2. And then we have the Frank Uzan Wolverine variant here, and that one has a foil. I'm sorry, that's the regular, and it has a foil too. And if you guys want this signed by Frank, Frank is, put it upside down. Frank's actually going to be at Fan Expo Denver with me in a little bit, and he will be happy to sign your book for you too. So if you back the campaign right now, and you want that reward, you want a double signed book, you can get it signed by Frank too. We also have CGCs. The CGCs are actually right over here. Here are your CGCs. And we only got 2 of them left. This is also a cover that was done by Frank. So we have a color edition, which is graded at a 9.2. There's only 70 of these in existence. And then we have a 9.4 of the black, white, and red. Only 30 of those in existence. And we still have original art for sale from the book too. So if you decide to back at the original art, all we need to do really is just sell 2 pieces of original art, and we are funded. But honestly, I really want to get the original art out there because it helps out Dexter too. So this will be shipping to you from the Philippines, and Dexter is going to hook you up with some extra stuff. I'm going to hook you up with all the books. You're going to get the ultimate package here. And I've actually put in a reward. It's a Hail Mary reward. It's at the very, very bottom at $950. You get all the original art plus all the variants, everything covered and shipped to your front door. So normally the value of all 5 pieces would be $1,000. I'm going to take $50 off. Just keep in mind that I'm not pocketing $950. Half of that is going to go over to Dexter so that we can actually pay for that. So that's where we're going. So if we hit $4,500, you guys all get Warline buttons. So that's just our funding goal. If we hit $5,000, everyone gets a bookmark. And if we hit $6,000 by some miracle, who knows what can happen in the last 24 hours, I will make these custom-made Warline boards for you guys. So that's like the boards that you see on the back of your
that's super cool.
Yeah. And the last thing we're going to do, we've got another backer here. So we are now $300 away, or sorry, $400 away from funding. The last thing that I'm going to do for the backer that helps us fund and get over the hump, I have this copy of Tales from the Crypt here that I worked on with a cover that was done by Dean H-Peel. It's also signed by Dean too. You can see it right over there.
Oh, I love his work.
Ooh.
He's incredible. And what's really cool is the cover is actually based on the story that I wrote for Tales from the Crypt. So this is really cool. So this is I didn't even realize it until I was looking at it, but
I didn't know about that. Who published that?
That was published by Paper Cuts.
Okay.
And that was when they were doing that was before they sold off to what's it called to Mad Cave. So they had the Tales from the Crypt license for a very short time, and then they lost it. So getting these books, especially this variant, is like very hard now. It's not a book you're going to come across in the dollar bin either. I almost never come across any Tales from the Crypt when I'm like looking through anything and when I'm dollar bin diving. But all right, I got the video uploaded here, so I'm going to just play the video real quick, and then we'll have like another 30 minutes, and we'll just kind of chill and talk, and then we'll end this. So let me just play the Kickstarter video, and we'll get going.
From childhood's hour, I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. From every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent to the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the lightning in sky of a demon in my view.
There, did everybody hear that?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Heard that.
Awesome. All right, so I'm done sharing screen. So, on Tuesday I had a creator hang on the experience, and I just threw like a question out. But we got lots of time because there's less creators here tonight. So the question I asked on Tuesday was like, what was the best piece of creative advice? And John, you seem like a creative guy. Like, what's a good question we could throw out to everybody?
I mean, a good question that I like to hear on these shows is why do you create? What keeps you going when you have these tough times where you're grinding it out on Kickstarter and you're fighting to find convention sales? What's your motivation to keep going?
That's a great question. Why don't you start with answering it, and we'll go to Aaron, JT, and then Fish, and then I'll answer.
Well, for me, it's mostly a mix of narcissism and anxiety. I have a good mix of, wanting to be famous and also being very anxious about being a nobody. So it all mixes together well. No, I just, for me, I've said on the shows before, I was in a band since I was 15 years old. I did that for a long time. When the time came to kind of transition out of that, I just never really thought about creating comics, even though I was a comic reader most of my life. But I was looking for something creative to do. I like the collaborative process of making music, and that was just a huge part of my life growing up. And I was on some of the forums. Somebody was joking about it when we started the shows. The old comic forums that we used to go on, the heydays of the internet, its beginnings, and I just happened to be on a really good one that had a lot of creators on it, and I just kind of threw it out there. If I was thinking about writing my first comic, would anyone be interested? And I was fortunate enough to find a lifelong now collaborator there, and he and I worked together for about 10 years. And, for me, it's just a collaborative process. It's enjoyable. I like having that kind of product at the end that we created together. And, when I make one, I was just like, I want to do another one and see how that one comes out. So for me, it's really about the process. I have no delusions that I'm going to win an Eisner Award or anything like that. I just enjoy the process of creating something.
I think that's a really honest answer. And I think we all kind of enter this hoping that we're going to be larger than life. And I think the thing is that we all already kind of are larger than life
I'm already larger than life, literally. I just want to make a living. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. I think it took me about 5 years to get to the point where you're at, Fish. But that's a very honest and genuine answer, John. Thank you, and a great question, by the way, Aaron. It's your answer, and I'm gonna bring Bentley because he's hanging out. He wants some attention. Sorry, this is Bentley. He just bumped his head. This is my dog Bentley. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just thinking that I've actually been doing this for over 20 years creatively. So not just comics, but writing in general. So I don't think I could stop even if I wanted to. It's kind of in me and it's not going away. And I couldn't see myself doing anything else. It keeps me out of trouble. And, to have that first idea and you start creating the world and forming the ideas around it, there's nothing like it. And I can't stop, and I don't want to stop. So that's why I keep going. Even if I fail, I've not all my campaigns have been successful. I just kind of cry, have a few drinks, and then come back stronger, or try to.
Dude, honestly, I admire that so much. That is what having iron skin is all about, and I think you have to have that impenetrable front when you're in it. And the fact that even when things don't work out the way that you want, you're still not giving up on the project. I can't imagine what would have happened if you would have just gave up after Fire and Blood didn't fund. And I'm so grateful for the fact that you finished that. And I know a lot of buyers are also very grateful for that too, because that book sold out really quickly on our show. I know that you had Red Giant, or not Red Giant. What was it? Who was the publisher that was putting out?
Red 5.
Red 5. Sorry.
Red 5
Sorry
comics.
about that. Yeah, there's Red Giant, there's Red Circle, which don't even get me started on Red Circle. But there's so many red, things out there. But the book sold out really well, and now you got Ice and Bone, and you're moving forward. So that's a huge inspiration to me, man. Keep it up, dude. And I'm glad you're here. Honestly, you're always out there, always trying. And Tuesday you also gave a really great answer about what advice you got from Travis about being part of a community, and you're definitely one of us, dude.
Yeah, I mean the community is amazing. From everyone here to everyone who's John, just ignore him. Look at the hand. But yeah, the community is amazing. They're always giving advice. They're always looking out for everybody. Whether it's backing for $1 just to get that algorithm ticking over, or giving advice, because Travis gave a lot of advice for me for the last campaign for Amor Patris, and it seriously helped. The polybags and the kind of collector's kits was his idea, and quite a few people backed it, and that kind of taught me, without them, that I wouldn't have got over the edge. So I'm always learning. I think every campaign is always slightly different. It never goes to plan. The plan sucks.
The plan
so
does
just
suck.
It
feels like
have to roll with it.
I honestly feel personally that I've done everything I could, all the right things, but it's you're 100% right, and sometimes you do things still fail. Sometimes you do everything wrong, and then you're successful. I didn't plan this. If I had planned this, no one would have showed up. But here we got a good full room of people, on YouTube and Facebook and everything. So this is really fantastic, and I'm glad that you're pushing forward and learning as you go. So good for you, man. JT, why do you do what you do?
Again? What keeps us going? Okay.
What inspires you to create and do all that stuff?
It's what I've always done, man. Ever since I was a kid, drawing comics where Mega Man meets Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever, on construction paper or whatever the hell I was doing. And I just never stopped. And I didn't really start kind of coming up until about 7 years ago, because I've been doing this for a long time. And I used to do print on demand stuff for this old book I used to do for fun based on me and my friends. It was really dumb, but I don't know. I felt like I wasn't there yet, and now I feel like I hit a point where I was like, okay, I think I'm kind of okay enough to do this now. And I got a lot of help from a lot of cool people that like kind of took me under their wing that didn't have to. Like when I worked for Cold War with Ash Mazco and Ashley Witter for a spell, and then through them I met Kara Nicole when she cosplayed for us, and then she loved my stuff, and we shared a similar sick sense of humor. So we stayed in touch. I talked to her and Alfred all the time, and then we just started collaborating, and they helped me like crazy with my first Kickstarter, and then like it took off, and I was like, whoa, what is this? So I was like, okay, finally I can actually do something with Sapphire Spectre now. So like that's what keeps me going, is I want to, I like at the end of the day, like John said, I'm not going to win an Eisner or anything like that. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about accolades or any of that crap. I just want somebody to pick up that book and look at it the same way I looked at Fathom when I was 19. You know what I mean? I just want them to like get that experience, like, whoa, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just get that part of your brain that sees color and joy and stuff just excited. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what I'm just trying to do with it.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about.
I'm thinking about a couple things. The first thing that comes to mind is something Jim Shooter always used to say was, every comic is somebody's first. But, you know, I'm sure everybody who is in this room right now, and everybody who's published and put out a comic has had an experience where their book has actually changed someone's life and has had a tremendously profound impact on either getting them deeper into the rabbit hole of comics or helping them through some really difficult period of life, or, you know, some other thing, you know, and that to me is worth more than 1,000 Eisners, you know. So I think it's that is the one thing that drives me most when I go to conventions, is I want to sell as many copies of my books as I possibly can, so that as many people are leaving that floor with those books. And I think it's wonderful how we all go about doing it in our own special ways. So keep it up, dude. You're totally. And I love Kara, by the way.
I was happy. I was happy the other day where like me and my wife we have like trails like right by us, you know, so we like by our place. So we take walks together, and by the local library, they have like a TARDIS shaped like Doctor Who, like just little cabinet that you can open up. It's like a mini library out in front of, and people just leave books there that you're supposed to just take and just bring back. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, on one of our walks, I was like, why not? So I just grabbed all 7 issues of my book, just put them in there just to see what would happen. And the next day when I walked over to that thing with my wife, my books were gone. So I was like, oh, cool. Awesome. Somebody out there thought it looked neat and took it, you know? So
yeah, I always remember that I was on a podcast for Ice and Bone 2, and my son is in the office basically directly behind the monitor, and he tried to Google the Blood and Fire because he thought it was about that, because I was talking about it, and because he was going to try and troll me on the podcast. And he actually found someone had reviewed Blood and Fire 1, 2, and 3 on different videos. And he's like so excited. As soon as I finished the podcast, he like showed me the videos. I'm like, someone actually reviewed my books on YouTube, and I had no idea, and it was awesome.
Nice. I had that only happen once. Yeah. When I first released my first issue to Comixology Submit a long time ago, somebody reviewed it, and I was like, they spoke highly of it, and they were like, it's like George from Dead Like Me meets Spawn. I'm like, I'll take it. All right.
That's actually that's a good review. Yeah. I remember one time I was at Planet Comic Con, and someone was walking by my booth, and they're like, hey, I bought your book before. And I was like, oh, really? What'd you think? And they looked at me and they're like, and just kept walking.
Oh, nice.
Was it Larry David?
while I was pitching someone too, which was great. I was like, that was awesome. I couldn't help but laugh. That's just, you know, you gotta take it all with a grain of salt.
What's that Mitch Hedberg thing where he's like, some guy saw me in the airport and he's like, I saw you on TV last night, but he did not say I was good. He just said, I saw you on television.
Oh, all right. Well, for me, the thing that keeps me going through all the hard times and everything is flat out necessity. I mean, if after spending 15 years in a wheelchair, being unable to walk, talk, or see most of those days, if I could have gotten anybody to hire me in graphics anywhere, I would have taken that day job and I probably still wouldn't be doing the comics that I'm doing now, that I've spent my whole life wanting to do. If I could have got a steady day job, I would have absolutely taken that. And I don't know how anybody does a day job and runs a Kickstarter and does fulfillment and does artwork or anything. I don't know how anybody does this on top of having a day job and being a husband and a father and teaching Cub Scouts and everything else. Man, I don't know how you have that much in you. I don't have it, but having to
Lots of
do
caffeine.
something, I had to build a freelance career for the second time, and this time I had to build it around my disability. So this was the thing that worked out. Like I literally it was a toss up between doing sculptures on a YouTube channel and hope I get commissioned someday, or start doing piddly little jobs drawing comic book stuff, and the drawings store flat, and that was the deciding factor. Sculptures take up room, pictures store flat, digital files store even easier. So I did that instead, and I got really lucky, met a really awesome group of people. Like on the first job I got inking a book nobody read, the letterer on that book ended up becoming one of my best friends in the world. And like I owe my entire career to this dude, because like when everything hit the fan in my life and my ex-wife disappeared and everything, he was out there beating the boards like, hey, you've been wanting to get a commission from Fish, right? Like, yeah, he's got commissions open. And like because he hired me for piddly little jobs drawing things for him and he showed it off to his friends, I got my first jobs illustrating full books like the Sentinels, and now I'm on like the 9th or 10th issue of the Sentinels that I've illustrated. And it's freaking awesome. Like he paid my mortgage all through COVID drawing this book. And man, the friends I've made have been awesome. I mean, I've always made my living as an artist since like junior high, drawing people's D&D characters. I've wanted to draw comic books since I was a little kid watching Saturday morning cartoons. And the first episode of Scooby and Scrappy Doo came on, and they're having to save a comic book artist from his creation come to life. And that was when I found out you could make a living drawing superheroes, and I was done for. Like that was all I ever wanted to do. And I did a lot of other things between here and there, but the fact that finally, like in my mid 40s, I got to start doing comics and actually make money at it, and I got to pay my bills drawing comic books, and I survived through COVID drawing comic books, and we bought a new house because of drawing comic books is freaking nuts. It's like winning the lottery. I could not be happier. I mean, I joke, I draw comic books nobody reads, but like, I don't care if it's 100 people that get the book, man. That's 100 people that keep coming back for my stuff over and over again. That's 100 names that I'm starting to recognize nearly everybody on that list now because they've been coming back for 6 years, and it's freaking awesome. And I'm wrapping up like my 115th book right now.
Wow.
In 6 years. And that's nuts. I illustrated 21 books last year, and that's the full like 9 yards, colors, pencils, letters, the whole 9 yards. Like you'd be hard pressed to find any pencilers that have done more than 12 books in a year. And I love my freaking job, man. I couldn't be happier. I get up and I do it every day. I get to sit in my recliner and make a bunch of stupid noises and explosion effects and draw superheroes beating themselves up all day. Man, my life could not be better, man.
So as you're
I'm
drawing,
going to bring this.
do
I want to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry,
Ernie,
I was
go
going
ahead.
to ask, as you're drawing, do you like have music, or is it something
Oh
like
yeah.
TV? Yeah.
I mean, I have to be real careful what I put on the TV because it has to be something I can listen to and not get caught watching. Because if I'm watching, I'm not drawing. So, like,
Right.
NCIS is designed for old folks. I can listen to that all day. And if I miss somebody moving a little something, at some point, Gibbs is going to hit the button in the elevator and recap the whole show because he knows you probably fell asleep because it's designed for old folks. And I'll hear what I missed, and it's good. But most of the time, I'm listening to music, and it's like 1,000 songs that I like that I know really well. So I know I can sing along to, and I don't have to waste processing power thinking like, is this a cool song? Do I want to listen to this again? Oh, who did it? Like, I can just sing along and enjoy it and have fun. And it burns up enough processor in my brain that I don't get so lost that I forget to like eat and go to the bathroom and stuff because I'm just working all day. But it helps me to have that little bit of distraction, but it can't be too much. Like if it's new music, I spend too much processor thinking about it, and so I like to stick to the classics, like the Dead Milkman, like we were talking about earlier, is heavy on my playlist.
Right.
I
I watch a lot of YouTube. I have like Red Letter Media going in the background while I'm drawing.
Well, I wanted to bring all this full circle to what Fish was starting with, like looking at what John and Aaron are doing and, saying, I don't know how you do all this stuff. But honestly, after hearing what you said, I don't know how you do what you do because it's really hard, making it as an artist, doing all this work that you're
21
doing.
books a year. That's
got an incredible, and the things that you're contending with on a physical level too, like I think the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that we're not all on this level playing field making comics. We're all dealing with our own situations out of life and, trying to make this happen. And another thing too, is we've all been told you can't do this. You're not going to do this. You're going to fail at this. And yet here we are still doing it. So, the adversity that we've had to conquer just to get to the point where we're at and find a measure of success is incredibly, incredibly difficult. So, kudos to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been really lucky. Like, and people don't realize like what my day-to-day life is like because I usually look really good on podcasts for an exact amount of time because the meds are kicking just right and the dopamine and having cool people to talk to keeps my brain functioning really well. And once the cameras go off, I'm going to look like I'm having a seizure trying to get from here to the bedroom. And like I was too shaky to be able to make myself breakfast this morning, and I got stuck in the kitchen, and my wife had to lead me back to my chair blind and sit me down and go make breakfast so that I could have something to eat. Like it's not always, sunshine and roses, but as long as righty is working enough to be able to control the pen and I can see out of one eye at least, I can usually keep working. And once I start working, that dopamine starts to kick in again, and then I get lost in the hyper focus, and next thing you know, 16 hours is gone, and there's a whole bunch of new pages done. But what I got.
No, that's great. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I would say my answer would be a culmination of everything you guys said. I definitely always wanted to do this, for a living, and like when I realized that, no one is gonna know about my book unless I get out there and push it. That's always what compelled me to really get out there and put book people at conventions. But eventually you realize like if you want to do this as a job, you got to actually have you got to know how the sausage is made, and you got to be honest about it, and you got to figure out how you can find that margin profit so that you can keep your business running and keep things going. And there's no certainties in life. Even if I had a 9-to-5 job, I know people who are getting laid off left and right. And then what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to kind of find a way to keep going either way. But I think if you bet on yourself and you focus on yourself, you're always going to be successful. And, I think that's something that we've all done. We've all taken a chance on ourselves. And, some of us have to take extra measures. Like the day job is more of an means to end as this is the main thing here. And some people find a balance. They love their day jobs and they love making comics. There's no reason why you can't do both. It's hard, it's hard to focus on doing both. But, I also have to give it to people are really focused on just making comics and can go to Kickstarter and conventions and just make that work. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been doing it for 15 years now. It's 16 years. Shit, 16 years now. And it's not easy. All right, I think we got time for one more question. This time I'll prompt it. I'm not going to get out charmed here by Mr. John in the bottom there.
And I
guess. No, don't apologize. I know teasing. I love being out charmed on my show. I love it.
No,
dude, you are great. I
have to turn off the charm and be charmless. I have to bow out.
Oh, you have to head out. Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. It was great having you here. Thank you for being here, dude. Fucking cross.
Talk to you all
Good
soon.
luck with your campaign.
Peace, dude.
Thanks.
I've got to go too. I've got to get early for my flight home.
No worries. Go do your thing, dude.
All right. Thank you for having me on your show again.
Yeah, no, of course. Thanks.
Like.
All right. So we're gonna wait for Aaron to leave here. How about here's a question, you guys. How much do you guys hate Aaron and John for backing out before I had a chance?
Oh man, let me tell you. If I could just list 5 things that I hate about Aaron real quick.
Talking shit about Aaron and John. No, just playing. But I guess the
You're
question
gonna
I
say
wanted to
some
ask
gotcha
you guys,
shit.
Yeah, some gotcha shit. No, I actually really enjoyed having both of them on. They're really great guys. But here was going to be my question: what's your inspiration? Like, what's pulling you right now? Like, what are you reading? What are you watching? Like, what are you doing? What's getting you up to create?
I go. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Sorry, I kind of threw that out there, and I'm like, I didn't.
No, it's all good. I've been watching a lot of TV with the wife ever since we moved in together, and a couple years back. And I never watched that much TV in my whole life, but she's addicted, so I'm like finding new stuff left and right, and it's so cool. It's so much. TV is just so much better than movies right now. Like I go see a movie, and I'm just like
it is so good.
Even an okay movie like Thunderbolts, like it's it was entertaining, but it's like then I go home and I watch Righteous Gemstones or like White Lotus or something, and I'm like, oh my
White
god,
Lotus
like
fucking gold.
This is amazing, So
Yeah,
like that,
totally.
and I've also been actually trying to read more comics again lately, like finally. And so like I don't know. The other day I realized like, hey, I never really like I've been playing Marvel Rivals, and I'm like using Cloak and Dagger in that game, and I'm like, I only ever just kind of knew who Cloak and Dagger were in the background, so I went and found like their early appearances or something. I started reading those, and I'm like, oh, that's what they're all about. You know what I mean? Just trying to like fill some gaps for like some old superhero stuff, or like even reading like I'm getting caught up just working with Ethereal now. Like I'm just starting to read everything they put out. So like, because I have to, but B, because I want to. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that's been this whole time. So, and yeah, I've been trying to like I'm probably gonna go downstairs, grab Drumsticks of Doom, and start to peruse through that too. Like I really want to get back into reading more comics, because you get so caught up in making them that at some point you're just like, what? Like I need to remember like why I got in this. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know, it's so easy to just like forget to read comics. So like
it is, and there's so many creators I know who like don't even read comics. Like they just put out comics, but they're like, yeah, I don't even read comics. Writing's always just come really easy to me, or drawing's always come really easy to me, but I don't read comics. And it's like, how can you not read comics and be a part of the industry?
Right.
You gotta, we all gotta learn it.
Because I do think it's like the world's best medium, So like
it is.
Like every once in a while, if it's been a little while, like I'll just be like, oh right, I'm supposed to read these, so I'll just grab something that's in my read pile or something I just always wanted to check out. I'll check it out, and then I'll feel kind of inspired all over again,
Yeah. I've been trying to work on a new schedule to stick to give myself more free time and not just work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week like I've been doing for the last couple of years. And so it's leaving me more time to like start digging through the back issues and stuff of like Kickstarter books that I've got piled up. Cause like there's some that I'm going to stop automatically. I will stop working and read right away when they come in. And then there's a whole lot that go on the pile that then get moved to that pile. They then get moved to that pile and put in a box. And, I got to dig through to find later on. That's one of the things I love about backing for digital comics. Because, like, when we go on a vacation or we go to a con or something, I can take, 600 books on a drive that size and read anything I want to read and catch up on all kinds of stuff while everybody else is asleep and not have to drag a short box with me to do it. But honestly, I get more inspired from conversations that I have with people, like good chats with like my editor or the co-writer that's helping me write the script for this issue of Alice or stuff like that gets me more inspired with ideas because we can like build off of each other and play off each other and be like, well, what if this happened? Well, what if we did that? What if we did that? And, go in different directions. I mean, I do the same thing when I'm watching a TV show, but it's so much more fun playing off somebody else's mind that's playing back. And
Mhm.
I'll have great conversations with my kids and stuff. And we watched Thunderbolts and we talked about like everything that we loved about it. And then like, what would we do different? How would we use this character differently? And do you think you could have got a bigger emotional impact out of this? And how would you have done it? And those kind of games lead us to all kinds of cool ideas. And so that's my
That's
answer.
awesome. That's a great answer. Yeah,
Thanks.
I watch a lot of stuff with my kids too. We watched a couple weeks ago. We finished Invincible. If you guys haven't seen it, Invincible is better than every Marvel movie that came out. In the base, of course, is the boy. But
I only ever read the first trade paperback. I've never seen the show or read the rest of it.
Forget
really
the trades, forget the comics.
Dude.
Just watch the show. Just watch the show.
It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah. The
so
show is really good. Not to diss the comics, because I know Derek Robertson and
they're great.
This is like
they
20
make
years
a
ago.
few little changes in the show, but honestly, like it makes it better and gets to the good stuff faster. And it's really well done.
Nice.
But like Invincible has been like a draft 2 of the comic. I mean, it's just it's just so good. And at first I was never a really big Kirkman fan until he took over the Hasbro universe. And like I realized just how genius he was. And because I always felt like Walking Dead was like, he got lucky with that. It's like here's a zombie book that's in black and white and everybody's making shit for it. But honestly, it's a good book. Like sometimes like you gotta kind of shut the fuck up and allow that thing to be there because we're lucky it exists. It didn't have to exist. And I feel the same way about Invincible. It's really just a goddamn good show. All 3 seasons, you have to see it if you haven't. Bit of the ultra violence, and all that, but that one was really good. I've been watching a lot of Apple TV shows. I finished Severance. Severance was great. Ted Lasso.
Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest is great.
Ted Lasso's so good.
Yeah, that too.
I
love Bill Lawrence shows. Because Scrubs is one of my ultimate
Bill Lawrence. Yeah,
shows,
Scrubs is awesome. Yeah, but Ted Lasso's like really just like that's like a Mr. Rogers right there. It's so good.
I saw somebody say it was like Mr. Rogers for adults. I'm like, that is so true.
Oh, that was me. That was me, dude.
Was that you? Okay. Yeah. Holy true.
So yeah, I like White Lotus too. White Lotus is all 3 seasons. I got around to watch it. And then I recently started watching Your Friends and Neighbors, the John Hamm show that's also on Apple TV. That one's really good.
Nice.
And
I was reading a comic with my wife that like my niece is into, like my 9-year-old niece. It's called Wings of Fire. Did you ever hear of this whole phenomenon? I think it's slowly taken off. It's like about like dragons, It's like this group of dragon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like supposedly the chosen ones, and there's different like races of dragons and stuff, and like it's a book series, but it's starting to get popular as a little mini graphic novel series too. And the artwork's really cool. It's amazing how whoever draws it like draws like the different dragons. You actually like just like their facial structures and stuff. You're like, oh, that's that one, because there's like 50 characters or something. I could barely keep them straight, but like for some reason the art like makes you actually keep them straight. And that's a sign of a good artist, is if they're drawing anthropomorphic dragons and you can actually tell them apart, But like, I don't know, it was pretty cool. So I read that. That was fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been reading. I read 5 comics today. I read the latest issue of Incredible Hulk. Nick Klein's artwork, dude, that guy is so fucking good. He did this whole issue where it was like a big Hulk and Thor battle, and that came out this week.
Who's your now? I'm sorry.
His name is Nick Klein.
Oh,
He's
okay.
current on Hulk. Then I caught up on Tom King's Wonder Woman, and I'm always like, kind of like, sometimes I really like the writing on it, and then sometimes I'm just like, what? Wait, this character wouldn't do that. And here's the thing about Tom King, he's dramatically changed every single DC character by killing off the one major like pivot or like the pillar for those characters. Like he killed off Alfred, and his Wonder Woman run killed off her love interest. I forgot his name. The guy
Steve
Chris
Trevor.
Pine played. Yeah, Steve Trevor. So they killed off him. And I mean, I've been reading it more for Sam Tyer's artwork. I don't know the first name, but really, really good artist. And then I'm just reading a lot of like rack books right now, but I've been finishing up my collection of New 52 Batman. I'm like 8 issues away from filling out my run, and then I started collecting the Punisher run where he becomes War Machine, and I got this really cool lenticular in the mail today. Nice. Which is really badass. You can see the Punisher. I've never done a lenticular. I would love to freaking do one. That would be badass.
Yeah, I've never done any kind of cover other than a regular one.
I offered little lenticular prints one time, and my wife was the only one that packed for them. So it's just okay, here, I don't have to ship them. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. You got to keep it. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. It's now 10. I kind of want to wind down for the evening, and I'm sure everybody else does too. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys coming on last minute. I hope that this has helped your campaign a little bit, and we brought some people in here. So thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone who showed up tonight. Yeah, you guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys around on conventions and on everything. So yeah. All right, guys. See you later. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks, Katrina. Thank you for showing up. Divinity Comics, Mike, thank you for showing up. You're awesome. Mix it up, cook it in a spoon, and then there you go. That's great. Great way to end the show. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.